Hi everyone, it's Killshot 99 Gaming. This is the Walking Dead's version, Daryl, Dixon, episode number 2, live recap and reactions. I got a lot of notes for tonight, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about. First, we'll let everybody kind of filter in. We got kind of our core little group every week that we love to get here and discuss what is going on. And tonight did help us out with a little bit more of that understanding. I see Valar in the house, super chatting. Hello, 999 Army Kills Great Mods, channel members, sponsors, PDL, Trivia, The Walking Dead, Daryl, Dixon. Thank you so much for being here. So, Cassandra LeBaum. Hello from Illinois. Glad I finally called live. We're glad that you called us live too. Harold Evans in the house, of course. I know Harold is going to be here, and we'll see a few more people that will pop in. And we're going to give a little bit of our insight tonight's episode. Deborah Cox here. All of our PDL players are super mods in the house. It's good to see some familiar faces from The Walking Dead. As you guys know, I mean, we talk Dead City. We're talking Daryl Dixon. There's Sea Kayak. And we're also going to talk the ones who live in 2024. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So let me start out with tonight's episode because this might not have appealed to everybody, but I do like to do what we normally do. I see Marsha Cooper in the house as well. I'm going to be calling a lot of you guys, get your thoughts and comment. But do me a favor, in chat right now, if you have a keyboard or you have something available, give me a number from 1 to 10 and let me know your thoughts on tonight's episode. Last week was one of the highest rated that we've done in a long, long time. So I want to see if you guys think that tonight is even going to be anywhere close to that. I know there might have been some storytelling tonight that might have pulled a couple people's scores down. That's okay. I'll talk about the importance of that. I see Harold looking at a 9, Julia 9.5, Dr. Dye 9, Bones 9.3, Marsha Cooper 9.1. Valar on the low end. Come on, Valar. We got to get Valar flipped around a little bit. Cassandra with a 9. Sea Kayak 9. Oh, Deborah Cox. Bringing the average down, Deborah. We're going to talk to you and find out what could have made it a little bit better tonight. So we'll get a few more scores. I see Busy Bee rated almost perfect. Deadly Dimes. Kel a little low. The Deacon in the house, 8.5. All right. I'm going to give this a 9.2. I'm going to give it a 9.2. Not as high as I rated it last week, but because there was some Fred Davis in the house. What's up, Fred? There was some moral of the story, teaching us some lessons all throughout. And sometimes, Jim Stone with a 9.5, sometimes they go a little too moral superiority on The Walking Dead. That's what I'll talk about. It's like they got to remind us that we're really good people, and sometimes good people do bad things. That happened multiple times tonight. But I'm just going to start out. I'm going to start out with what I thought was a good story. Now, here's my question to you guys. Can you remember an episode of The Walking Dead where we called it filler and they just told a completely different story? Leave it in chat if you can give me an episode of The Walking Dead where they just told like a separate story that got you out of the moment. There's been a few. Type it in chat. Just give me a couple examples. Morgan episode. Michonne and her friend. Right. So, I really, really like the backstory. I like the backstory as a standalone episode. I just particularly when they went back in the 90s or early 2000s, you know, she was a thief, they were doing drugs, techno music, you know, in Paris. I liked it. I needed more of it. I thought it was really good to show that side of it. I liked it all the way through about the midway point. Eastman as well. Eastman, of course. Good call out. it showed the start in a different area, and I could have really just watched an hour and a half of the backstory. So I thought they were doing well with it. Middle, I thought they rushed it, and then they finished the story at the end. So that's the only reason why I pulled it down a little bit, is because I thought some of the backstory got rushed in the middle. I love seeing the start of it. I love seeing how it happened somewhere else, and I thought that would have been a great standalone episode. Now, if they would have done that, there would have been some people would have said, filler, filler, they gave us too much filler. That's why I would have loved it in episode number 2. So we find out Isabelle, she's a late 90s, early 2000 club thief. And a quite wealthy one at that. Now, I don't know about y'all, but she came down off the mountain really, really quickly, right? I mean, she's doing lines, she's drinking, she's doing everything. And then I guess the ultimate sobering aspect is seeing zombies and walkers. It's like she's out at the club, she's taking watches, she walks out. It's like, whoa, what is going on? So that was a wake-up call. So we transition from that to, didn't you guys feel like, y'all remember the episode, was season 12 in The Walking Dead? Remember the episode where they went to DC and they went to the museums and then they came back and then they had a wagon and then the wagon lost a wheel? Do you guys remember that? So I felt like we went back to that, right? Grass got cracked, yeah. So floor cracked. It was a good episode. So tonight when I saw Sylvie, Daryl, Isabelle, and Laurent, it kind of felt like that. But I thought that was okay, because it was a clear distinction between the past and the future and the present. So unlike it was told very, very good. Oh, come on. Fluff in the house? Are you kidding me? I have not seen Fluff in, oh my goodness, maybe 3 years. What's up, Fluff? Great to see you, my man. I remember all of our subs. So here's a good comparison. Do y'all also remember the season of Fear the Walking Dead when Madison supposedly died? Now, that's about the time I stopped watching, so don't ask me anything much after that. But do you guys remember, prior to Madison dying, remember how Fear the Walking Dead gave us black and white, and then gave us, we didn't know where we were in the past or we were in the present. And it was very complicated. You had Nick, you had Alicia, and you're trying to figure out, like, where are we? What's the time zone that we're at? So I think that The Walking Dead, the Daryl Dixon version, did a really good job tonight of being super, super distinct, of putting them in a setting of then and now. Maybe minor, but I thought it was a good lesson learned, because we did have to flash back a couple times. Okay, so let's get to scariest thing you guys saw tonight. Type it in chat immediately. Let's see who can type it the first. And I'm going to tell you guys what the scariest part of tonight's episode was for me. No sea kayak. Julia is not the scariest part of tonight's episode. I get where he's going. The birth? When Daryl fell? The birth? Birth. All right, come on. Y'all did not feel and hear that arrow whizzing by your face. That first arrow that was shot was like, yeah, look, it wasn't Resident Evil dog jumping through the window scary, but that arrow was like, whoa, oh my goodness, it was good. And that's hard to find that on television where you get movie quality jump scare. So I thought that was great. And it wasn't that I wasn't expecting something. I was, but it just, that first arrow, the angle and the filming and the sound effects to me was awesome. So I really, really liked Jeanette's group. So Jeanette's taking care of these kids. And it was almost, in the beginning, did you guys get like a little Lord of the Flies vibe where they're like with their spears like boom, boom, yeah, boom, boom, yeah. You know, it's like, I don't know what they're saying, but they got like their own little chant. And I'm thinking like, oh boy, who's got the conch shell? Who's going to be leading this group? And here comes Jeanette walking down the stairs, and she's like, all right, say the prayer. So come to find out, it's all kind of a primitive front. They have this little school set up, and they're working on like higher levels of education. So I thought that was an amazing contrast. That you're teaching these kids to be both savage and structured at the same time. You know, that is true. Jim says, yeah, when those kids took Daryl Michonne, strung them up, tortured them, Daryl still got to show off the back some of the torture he went through. Look at that, old one-eyed Carl. Man, I'm telling you what, we are getting the old school party in the house. Love seeing you guys. I have not seen in a while. It's great for you guys to be here. Deacon says discipline killers. I would agree with that. Well, and you know what? You see, that's okay. Because we were reminded tonight that Daryl said it, you can't miss what you never had. So I think it's a really good job of the writers showing us that kids are different when they grow up in this environment. Look at Terra Mama. The word must be out there that we're getting back in full scale for the Walking Dead chat. Appreciate you guys being here. Love, love, love seeing the old school names. So, although we're evolving as fans, the writers are getting better at finding the little things that move us at this point. They brought back some of the old school stuff, but they changed it. So you're reminded that these kids they can't be compared to the kids that were born before. So I think one of the best scenes of tonight, you know what? I'm gonna hold my best scene for you guys. Type it in chat right now, your favorite scene, regardless of what it's about. Type it in chat right now. I want to call on a few of you guys. I have my own favorite, but I'm not going to reveal mine until I see yours. I got a feeling some of y'all are going to pick mine. Julie liked the Mork and Mindy flashback. Deborah Cox. Gemstone, right on the money. You know what? I love this. I love this. I love that all of you guys are picking this because it just shows that the writers hit a chord with all of us. Birth of the baby as well. I think those two scenes, well, you know what? I got several more. But those two scenes, I want to talk about those quite a bit. Daryl's prayer at the dinner table, and at the very end, if this is not enough for you, I don't know what is. Amen. That part, the end of that prayer, knowing that um, was it kind of a Mary and Jesus baby birth? That Laurent is the new Messiah? Did they go there with us tonight? Because it sure felt like we're going to do this and we're going to do this big. Because the moment he was born, if he would have been born a little later, he would have been born as a walker. And they have done that to us before. So the fact that we've seen a Walking Dead baby born as a walker, but yet Laurent was not, and named Saint Laurent. Laurent in the Bible, and the meaning of Laurent. Shining one of the light. So I don't think that's lost. I mean, this kid, did he say he walked backwards for 3 straight days, even upstairs? I mean, he's a pretty special dude. All right, so I want to talk about, I'll get to the birth in a little bit. We did touch on it a little bit. Um, they kind of, here's the thing, they kind of had my head spinning around a little bit. The whole lying theme. Like, is it okay to lie? When's it okay not to lie? I'm like, these kids know about Santa Claus. I mean, what are they telling them? There were multiple scenes tonight where there was this dispute of whether or not it's okay to lie. Now, let me say this. In 2 cases, we realized innocence is lost. All right. I don't know the one kid's brother. He said Jeanette lied to him. So said the seat was there. He's coming back. He's not coming back. He's dead. So she lied to him. Daryl lied about the mule. Daryl lied about the medicine. But here's what's funny. Daryl was also brutally honest twice tonight. RJ Gaines. RJ Gaines from Texas. I got a wife and kids in Texas. You can't kill me, my patriot brother. He became walker bait. and Daryl was straight up honest with him. So we did see the distinction between lying to protect the kids, what's up, Ocean Man, and then being brutally honest with RJ Gaines. But the one thing, something happened with Laurent. Do you guys think that is going to shape his character going forward? I loved the Easter eggs tonight, right? Number one, they didn't kill a horse. So they have gotten so much flack for killing horses, they decided to kill a mule. So I think there's some creativity with the writers. I think that was definitely an Easter egg for all of us. But I do think it's important that Laurent discovered the mule, and he's going to internalize that and realize that I've been sheltered. And now, this trip, he's going to be growing up. All right, so how many people were a little disappointed that Daryl and Isabelle did not take the map with them? Am I the only one thinking, like, come on, you know Cadron's coming back. He's going to see the map. Take the map. All he's going to do is cause problems. All right, I told you guys I got a ton of notes here. Yeah, Jeanette's group, I was thinking the wolves initially, but then when I saw, I think you guys are right. It did kind of remind me of those little evil kids that took Daryl and Michonne hostage. That was wild. That was wild times there. So certainly finding out that Isabelle and Laurent are related, so I guess she's his aunt. He's the nephew. And the circumstance, that birth had a lot of important meaning. I would agree with you 100%, C. Kayak. Tremendous actor. But do you guys also think that if Laurent is thought to be the next Messiah, I mean, this world's gone bad, that would help bridge the transition of Isabelle losing her sister? Because now you feel like this miracle baby is what the new world is supposed to be about. Otherwise, you're just kind of grieving. But now you got a little bigger purpose. Yep, gave her purpose. I agree. So let me ask you guys this. Were you a little disappointed that we didn't see a little bit more CRM tonight? I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of it in episode 6. So it looks like the next couple weeks we're going to be dealing with Cadron. Little break from CRM, understandable. Didn't need it, fair enough. I mean, we're going to have to get a big splash of it on the back half. They're going to be flying helicopters in. They got big boats. So we do have to, good flashback. We got to get the path. Heading to Orleans. Corey Gaines. I'm sorry. Not Gaines. I got RJ Gaines on my mind. Corey, thoroughly enjoyed seeing the small bit about France, how it fell to the outbreak. Well, do you guys remember when Fear was pretty good and Nick went to Mexico? Now, they kept finding him everywhere. But remember the preacher? And we thought the preacher was going to have the cure. He said he could cure the outbreak. And it's like they just kind of dipped their toe in that. And next thing you know, they were on a ranch. That like just went so fast. You mean literally or figuratively? Bones is like, you get the feeling that Isabelle's feeling. Yeah, I mean, she tried last week. Carries. Thank you for that, Corey. Well, I mean, at this point, Isabelle's probably maybe he looks at her and sees Carol. All right, you guys are gonna steer this in a direction I can't do live. We'll see. I I think she's a nun. She's a nun. All right. I mean, it could turn into a French romance. Hey, hey. I don't like her like that, all right? Daryl's trying to get back home. what Daryl and Isabelle need to be worried about is Cadron. That dude he's Wile E. Coyote. And Daryl's a roadrunner. I got a feeling the next 4 episodes, Cadron's going to be like up on top of a mountain with a rock. He's going to be dropping it down. Like everywhere they go, he's going to be trying to shut them down. And he knows where they're going. So I'm just very intrigued of which direction they're going to take this. Look, I mean, they painted this Renaissance story, brand new revival. They're tying in religious groups with certain monarchy along the way. Then you got CRM, so you got like the high-tech, battle-tested people. I feel like I just feel like this is going to be a little bit of Renaissance, and it's going to springboard really quickly to catch up with what's going on with Rick. That the end goal is for them to set the stage of the ones who live. And I think we're going to see a ton of Easter eggs toward the end. It's a great story. You got to build the characters. It is difficult. It is difficult to make you feel for the characters before you lose them, because they only have a certain amount of time. Now, question I have. Sylvie, how many episodes does she make it? Four? I think she dies next week. Bold prediction. Sylvie dies next week. We got to kill off a main character. She's dead weight. She's gone. Next week, episode 3, she's out. It's my bold prediction. If you guys have watched, don't tell me. I think she's gone next week. We got it. We have to kill her because we have to develop a stronger bond with Laurent. I think Sylvie goes next week. I think Isabelle lasts till next season. I don't think we can get to know her well enough in 6 episodes. And look, if we think it's going to be Daryl and Laurent season 2, that might be a little bit of a drain. I'm going to say we got to have Isabelle. All right. Last call. Last question for the Army. We'll talk a little bit more next week. True or false? Isabelle lives the entire season and gets to season 2. Leave it in chat right now. And also, give me a 999. I want to give you guys a shout out for being here discussing The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, for about a half an hour with us. Get a chance. We'll have some people watch the playback. We're going to continue to do this all season. So you guys show up, bring your ideas, your reactions, your recaps. All right, we got a lot of people saying she makes it. All right, that's what I'm going with. Corey, thank you for being here tonight. Deborah, Amy, Deadly Dimes, Gemstone, Sea Kayak, Julia, One-Eyed Carl, Donnie T on the backup, drug free, so put the crack. Donnie T, you got to remember how many times I used to sing with your name in the old school streams. Harold Evans in the house. Crimson Tide Priestess. Terra Mama back in full force with us. We saw my man Fluff Salisbury, the Deacon. I'm telling y'all, the names, our group, you guys see them, you guys remember. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll do this again next week. We might even catch as the season goes on. If you guys would like to see a midweek stream, we could probably do a Tuesday or Thursday as well. I just don't want to get spoilers out there for you guys. That's why we're doing the reactions and the recap once we see it. But maybe we can sneak one in and just have like the honor system and say no spoilers, anybody. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of you guys being here and look forward to seeing all of you next week for Daryl Dixon, episode 3 recap and reactions next Sunday night. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.